Update for today, March the 11th. Now, before I go any further, March the 11th or 3/11, um, I have been graduated from high school for almost a quarter of a century. If my high school were doing reunions, this would be the 25th. I don't even know if they are. But that being said, um, this particular day, every year, I cannot I cannot help but think of a particular kid. And this particular kid is someone who I still refer to as the 311 kid. When I was in high school, there this dude named Chris. Um, and I don't understand how my junior high and high school like assign kids to classes. Supposedly it was random, but for some reason you ended up with the same kids in a lot of classes, and then there are certain other kids that you basically almost never seem to have, even though you're in the same grade. I never understood it. I still don't, but I think it comes down to random my tush. In that, um, supposedly it's a random number generator, but it's not as random, and there are probably patterns set up into it. I have a feeling it's more or less that way. But anyway, I was in with this kid named Chris in a lot of different classes, and he was pretty cool. And the thing is, for whatever reason, this number, you were sitting there doing some social studies project or paper about the Oregon Trail, and there in like five different spots on his paper, 311, 311, 3-1-1, 311. Okay. And um at this point I had not yet seen, I don't even think it had come out yet, that Jim Carrey movie, the number 23. But um 311 everywhere. And um, so when you get down to it, you got to the end of high school, and and after 4 or 5 or 6 years of knowing this dude and seeing, and it never let up. Um, when I got to high school yearbook day, I'm writing in dude's yearbook. All the best to you, good luck, and by the way, what does 311 mean? And gives you an idea of just how entirely uncool I am. But anyway, so so dude tells me, big reveal. This is during what they call the senior barbecue. You had your last day of school, and basically for whatever reason, um, like the day that was your last day of school, or like the day after, you get invited back to the school campus to eat a hot dog and a hamburger, but whatever, okay. And so it was that event, and you're signing your books. What does 311 mean? Turns out, big reveal, it was a band. And okay. So all right. All that was for band. I don't think I've seen anything quite like that from anyone else, except maybe this thing called Supreme that pops up every now and again these days. But anyway, at one point I was connected with social media with the 311 kid, but I'm not sure anymore. But anyway, Chris, if you're out there somewhere, hope you're doing well. Thinking of you there, buddy. So before filming this video, I decided I'd take it one step further, and I was going to Google where 311, that band, got their name. Oh my. All right. So anyway, March 11th, 311. There we go. All right. So today I was at the store. It was a 10 to 7 shift. primarily courtesy clerk, again, bagging. And again, another one of those days where I was sent to touch up the cleaning supply room and did that. But also, my friends, history repeats itself. I was able to participate in a wonderful event known as the Great Flood of 2026. Also known as 2 hours of cart duty today. And this is one of those days where pretty much downpour all day long. If you're familiar with the whole Portland metro area, this was not one of those light drizzle all day longs. This was a freaking downpour all day long, to the point where it makes you think it was probably Halloween or some major outside event going on today that the weather god just had to ruin. Anyway, so Great Flood of 2026. I was out there for a couple hours, and yeah, we'll survive. We'll survive. And then I didn't go to the gym this evening. I got off at a little bit after 7 o'clock and had a pretty quick turnaround, supposedly. I say supposedly because the way that I decided to handle that, instead of going to bed early, was filming an update for the 8th, and then one for the 9th, and then one for the 10th, and now this one for the 11th. Yes. Boys and girls, here I am in a shirt that says Superman on it because I am feeling like freaking Superman as I am filming the 4th video of today, which will get me entirely caught up, and you guys all caught up on my life that you care about so much because I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm glad you are. And, yeah, so this is actually, how did I spend my evening? Filming 4 of these. And this is the 4th one, and there are 3 minutes left, and that's why I'm probably going delirious, but whatever, anyway. But that being said, and going to switch tone here for a little bit for the rest. The last week or 10 days, 10 or so days in my life have been something. Obviously, with the where we learned about Dad being, and then how that all played out, and then all the love and support and the breather days that I've had, and it's been a ride, and I am so thankful for all the support, everybody reaching out and whatnot. And while I'm thinking about how tough times it is, I also realize that I am not the only one that has things that are not great. And I can't help but think of when I first came back to the store on Sunday. The first person that greeted me was our head cashier, and who's been around forever. As a matter of fact, probably Dad's favorite person to check out with when he went to my store, because he liked to go for the cute ones. He picked the cutest checker, and for years this gal was, and for that matter, customers think still is. But anyway, she was the first one to welcome me back and told me her brother wasn't doing so well, and I'll be filling in for her tomorrow morning because her brother passed today. And yeah, and then another person that I received a lot of empathy from this was one of my coworkers who works at the complaint counter, and she went through something last year that she'd never have to go through, which is losing a daughter. And they had a couple of kids, and their thing is, on Sunday, the kid's dad passed. It could be so much worse. God bless both of them. Thanks for joining me.